And that breaking news out of Sacramento and San Joaquin counties, where a former sheriff's deputy stabs his 11-year-old son to death before he was shot and killed in a police chase. Thanks for being with us at 5. I'm Galston Dart.
I'm Lisa Gonzalez. That former deputy was Marvin Morales. KCRA 3 has previously reported on the 40-year-old who was accused of lying about a 2023 fentanyl overdose. So today, this all started about 8 o'clock this morning, and Elk Grove police, they got a call from a mom concerned about the safety of her two children at home. Officers say they found an 11-year-old boy stabbed at that home. That boy later died at the hospital. A 6-year-old girl was also there and was not physically hurt.
Authorities say that Morales left and there was a chase down Interstate 5 that ended in a shooting with Sacramento County deputies on I-5 near Highway 12. Morales was taken to the hospital where he died. The CHP is now in charge of the investigation from the highway. They're calling this a tragedy.
Yeah, it certainly is a very tragic event. The allegations that have come forward, and we mourn with the community who is mourning at this time as well.
And we have live team coverage on the story. Michelle Bandor is in the neighborhood where the child was stabbed.
We begin with KCRA 3's Jason Mark, who is live along I-5 where that former deputy was shot and killed. Jason?
And Lisa, we have seen some movement here in the last couple of minutes. A wrecker just showed up, which usually indicates that this investigation out here is starting to wrap up whenever that wrecker comes to the scene. Here's the scene right here on Interstate 5. We are west of Lodi, in between Route 12 and 8 Mile Road in San Joaquin County. And this is where everything came to a stop today. This is where we're told that Morales ran off the road and where that shootout took place. But I want to zip around this way and show you northbound and that traffic. And you can see the lights up there where the Department of Transportation is moving those cars over into one lane. 30 miles up that way is where this thing all started, on Interstate 5 in the Pocket area. That's where officers were canvassing for Morales in his car. They saw him, they got behind him, and they started that chase. We're told at times speeds got very fast, over 100 miles per hour, and came whizzing down this way along Interstate 5, and that's when CHP decided to go ahead and put out spike strips. Morales hit those strips, ran off the road, and that's where he crashed. Now, what we do know is that there was a shootout involving officers, several officers, at least 2 from Sacramento County. What we don't know is what happened during that shootout or right before that shootout. Did Morales pull out a gun? Did he fire first? We do not know that information. We know that Morales was hit. He was taken to a hospital where, as you guys mentioned, he was pronounced dead. Now, this investigation is still ongoing. We are told by CHP they actually just turned the investigation over to the Department of Justice. We saw a Department of Justice vehicle show up about 2 hours ago. So we know they were on the scene along with the ATF and also local law enforcement. So a lot of entities in this trying to figure out exactly what happened out here today. Now back to you.
All right, Jason, thanks for that part of our coverage tonight.
The shooting investigation is having an impact at traffic, and here is a live look at southbound I-5 just north of that investigation. Here's the backup that Jason was mentioning. You can see the line of red brake lights there. The freeway's open, but you should expect some delays. It's all started about 8 o'clock this morning at a home on Farrell Way in Elk Grove, and that's where the former sheriff's deputy allegedly stabbed his 11-year-old son to death.
KCRA 3's Michelle Bandor has been talking to neighbors who live right there in the neighborhood. And Michelle, when you look around there, it just looks like a nice neighborhood. The lights are on, and you just never would have guessed what would have happened there.
Yeah, the holiday lights on the Morales home just came on as it got dark here. It's a quiet neighborhood, a friendly neighborhood. Everyone here seems to know each other and they look out for each other. And the crime scene investigation is over here at the house. But there are so many questions that remain for detectives, for family, for friends, as to why a father is suspected of killing his own son. And neighbors tell me they would never suspect violence like that happening here. And look, I mean, deliveries are still being taking place here at the family. This is the second Amazon truck that we've seen pull up here today, delivering packages as life goes on despite that violence. And as we've been reporting, it started around 8 this morning, and Elk Grove police tell us the 11-year-old boy's mother watched it all unfold in real time while she was at work. They say while looking at cameras placed inside the home, she told officers she saw Marvin Morales stab their son. And when officers arrived, Morales was gone, but they found an empty gun case and the children home alone. Officers tried to save the boy with CPR, but he died later at the hospital. Neighbors say they heard the 6-year-old sister screaming at a time when the neighbors say they were taking their own children to the same school they all attend.
Literally just dropped the girls off and came back from dropping them off at school when we heard the sirens. And it's just, when you hear the story, you're like, I assume they were going to be going to school or should have been getting ready for school.
For anybody, and especially knowing that it was a deputy before too, I mean, this is why we get in this job, to protect everyone and to make sure everyone's safe. And the last thing we want is someone hurting children, especially. So it's been a tremendously hard day.
Yeah, and those neighbors tell me that they're going to have some tough conversations with their own children tonight, as they believe they were classmates with the Morales children. So just a really tough day for everyone all around. And, you know, this isn't the first time that we've reported on Morales. We did extensive investigating 2 years ago when he was accused of lying about using fentanyl on the job as a Sacramento County Sheriff's deputy. He was fired, and he also overdosed in the Sheriff's Department bathroom, his own colleagues saving him, reviving him with Narcan. So the police aren't saying, you know, whether or not they found drugs inside or whether that was related to this. It's just still a lot of questions remaining.
Yeah, and you know, you wonder what else had been going on in the house, and what else about the drug use. I mean, did neighbors catch on to anything like that?
Yeah, you know, we talked to neighbors about that, and, you know, interestingly enough, Chris Gallegos, who I interviewed, he just found out about the whole drug overdose and being fired from the department by watching our news. Other neighbors say they happened to come across it a couple of months ago and watched the body-worn cameras of that entire incident and never really confronted Morales about that. One neighbor said, you know, how do you bring that up in conversation? And they said he never really behaved like he was on some type of drug. So again, just shocking, so many questions, just a mystery here as to what happened.
Yeah. All right. Michelle, thank you.
And the Elk Grove School District has confirmed the children were part of the district, saying in a statement that we are heartbroken by the tragic incident that took place in our Elk Grove community. We can confirm that the family involved is part of the Elk Grove Unified School District. We're committed to supporting our students and staff and have made counseling and additional resources available during this difficult time. Our thoughts are with everyone affected. We're learning much more about the suspect, Marvin Morales, a former Sacramento County Sheriff's deputy who was fired after an internal investigation uncovered drug use on the job. Let's go to KCRA3's Andrea Flores with more.
Yeah, we heard a little bit about that from Michelle Bandor, but Morales was a former Sacramento County deputy who was fired days after he submitted a resignation letter. That resignation came after a history of drug abuse, which involved a fentanyl overdose. In 2023, Morales overdosed in a sheriff's substation bathroom. He was given Narcan and recovered. An internal affairs investigation this year determined Morales lied about his drug use. Video footage released by the sheriff's office shows Morales on the floor of that bathroom. He was unresponsive with what appears to be a lighter in his right hand. Pictures showed a pipe on the floor as well. And the footage also shows a deputy administering that Narcan. You can see that here. Now, Morales left the Sacramento County Sheriff's Department in February of last year. A state database shows Morales voluntarily disqualified himself from eligibility of being a peace officer. Golston.
All right. Thank you for that, Andrea.